The single biggest financial mistake that business owners make is they never change their money strategy as their income grows. They make 50 grand a year and they handle it a certain way, and then they scale to mid 6 or even 7 figures and they manage it in the exact same way. And then they wonder while they are still drowning in cash flow swings and tax season panic. Look, I'm Brooke Plack. I am a multi 7-figure operator who built an operations empire from my garage, from scratch, in the trenches, through raw, hard-earned financial experience. Not on Wall Street, not private equity firms, real small businesses. And the only reason my companies print predictable profit while I work a focused 25 hours a week is because I built a strict financial visibility framework and an automatic operations plan that evolves at every single level of wealth. And today I'm taking you up the wealth elevator and breaking down the exact paycheck and cash routine you must execute at every single income level. Because if your wheels stop spinning at the first level, you will never know what to do when you get to the next level. So stay till the very end because I'm sharing the penthouse rule that turns the exhausting, high-stress business finances into automated wealth machines. All right, let's go. So most founders think that wealth is about how much you make. But real operators know wealth is only about how you route your cash flow through automated infrastructures. Is it route or route? Route or route? I guess it depends on where you're from, right? But number one, the first floor of your wealth building, of your paycheck, what do I do? If you are making somewhere between $50,000 and $100,000 a year, this is the grind floor, not the ground floor, the grind floor, okay? You are in the manual survival phase of life, figuring out how to get all the things paid, figuring out how to get everything taken care of. Expenses are built strictly around your lowest consistent month, okay? So if you consistently are bringing home like $5,000 a month, that's what your expenses need to be built around. Every dollar past your basic survival baseline is routed into self-education and personal cash buffers to eliminate your emotional panic. Notice I didn't say Louis Vuittons and emotional spending, okay? There is no reason to be bougie when you are trying to build wealth. There's no room for that, okay? So when you are looking at basic needs, then everything else is education to get you to where you want to be in the next level, all right? The second floor is the infrastructure pivot. So that is when you are between $100,000 to $250,000 in revenue. And at this stage, this is the cash flow transition. So this is where lifestyle inflation kills almost all founders, business owners, employees, everybody. So instead of buying a better car, your business cash must be rooted to buying back your time. So we're not trying to upgrade our houses. We're not trying to, buy a vacation home. We are literally buying other people's time through payroll or through contract labor so that they can help us run what we're doing even better. You establish a 3-month operational buffer to give yourself a fixed fake salary, and you're routing that surplus straight into hiring your first helper, okay? So that is where when your business is really starting to take off and it's more than just like a side hustle. The floor 3, you're heading up that elevator to floor 3. This is where you get in your tax shields and your margin locks. So you have to work on protecting your assets here. You step away from the basic banking and you use corporate structures, legal tax shields, and proactive margin tracking. So you stop checking your bank account balances to see if you can buy things. And instead you spend 20 minutes a week auditing your gross profit margins and seeing where your money's coming from and what is costing you the most money. So that's when you're in that 250 to 500,000, in revenue a year. All right. Floor number 3 is when you are starting to automate the assets. So if your business is between $500 and $1 million in revenue, okay, 500,000 and $1 million, you are to the point where you need to fire yourself from operations. Okay. Your company cash is no longer reinvested into random projects. It is directed entirely into building an SOP approach, an approach that automates the service that you are providing over and over and over again and deploying a hiring playbook so your team can handle all of the execution of the company. Your money is going towards buying the corporate independence here. All right. And if you're climbing these floors and your business is growing and you are needing help because your calendar is a restrictive mess, click the link in my show notes and we can book a call and talk about this together, because you do not have to operate from a place of chaos. All right. Floor number 5, the penthouse rules, like where we're all headed, also comes with a little caveat and an identity crisis sometimes. So when you get into navigating the multi-millions, so you have a company doing over $1 million a year, or you have multiple companies doing 7 figures a year, you have to completely drop your need to be useful on a daily basis. At this level, cash flow from your company automatically needs to be routed into long-term wealth assets that require zero human touch for you. That is, if it needs to be routed into other investments, if it needs to be routed into real estate, if it needs to be routed into your next business deal, the entire routine has to start to become automated. And the challenge here is no longer financial, but it is psychological, because to survive the identity crisis of no longer being needed on a daily basis as the hands-on operator of every phase of your business requires you to have a shift from managing your profit into executing true high level impact, because you cannot get to the next level if you are operating like you are still bringing in $50,000 a year from your business. It is a totally different ballgame, and it will crush you not only financially, but mentally and emotionally, because true financial freedom is not about hitting some massive revenue number. It's not about getting to, there is no like magic destination that's like, we got there, this is it. Okay. Just to watch it slip through your fingers into a bloated operating stack. I have been overstaffed. I have overhired. I've had too many tech tools. I've been through every single one of these things. But once you get to a place where you streamline things and you start to build a more automated system that routes your cash flow cleanly, that allows your operations to operate without you, you can confidently step out of that day-to-day operations mode and start owning your life instead of your business owning you.